Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, this might be an issue. Hang on. 1 second. Just 1 second. Okay. How's that? Is that good? I hope it is. One. Yes. Okay. I've got everything right in front of me. And in addition, I'm about to play a game that I care about very much. All right.
Oh! Oh!
Okay, let's do this. Oh my gosh. Hang on, guys. For some reason, my speaker has become disattached. I don't know why it did that. I don't know why it did that. It's really weird. All right. Come on. Whew. Alright. Still good. Ugh. Come on. Ugh. Okay, there we go. Alright, we're good now. Whew. Yeah, that would definitely be an issue. That would definitely be a problem. Although I am curious about where the heck that tomato is. Tomato. Alright. Time to do what I was made to do. I was made for this, is what I am. I was made to do well on this mountainside. I've done many attempts of this very route, and I'm not about to stop now. I was a drab little crab once. Whew. All right, making good time. Dude, imagine I get it on this first try. That would be kind of amazing. Ah, of course not, though.
Oh, right.
Get up, Nate. You got so much to see. You've got so much to do. Y'all ever mull over how much piracy you want to do at like the scalable level? Because, you know, you can visit a piracy website and technically it's not illegal because piracy is what constitutes like, or rather what constitutes piracy is that you're redistributing somebody else's copyrighted content. But viewing that content isn't illegal because you can't make the witnessing of any given thing actually genuinely illegal. That would be like George Orwell, 1984. So it's the redistribution, which means that you can actually technically, lawfully go so far as to download entire seasons of you know, any given show or entire films, all within like free parameters. Right? You just can't give that information out to other people. That's what makes it illegal. And like even then, it's like, what are you afraid of? Right? It's not like cops are going out looking for counterfeit or not counterfeiting. It's not called counterfeiting. It's called piracy. It's not like cops are going out looking for pirates, right? They're looking for the large scale guys, the ones that are hosting the websites. You know, they're looking for those guys, and most of those guys are, you know, international, right? So you can't even really get them with local copyright law. They're not looking for, like, Lil Jimmy with his USB stick of, like, 5 episodes of, like, the Power Rangers, right? That's not what they're looking for. That's never been what they're looking for. But unfortunately, we have a generation filled with people who are content to pay Netflix an inflated subscription price for some fucking reason. I don't know why, but it's true. Actually, you know what? I think that's more of a millennial thing than a Gen Z thing, because Gen Z doesn't have nearly enough money to actually pay for a subscription anymore. Thanks, Nate. Thanks for not falling off, man. Also, by the way, welcome to the stream. Please excuse the vulgar sounds coming out of my mouth right now, if you're currently hearing them. Also, by the way, that thumbnail literally is just like a 5-second brain blast. I just had the thought. Because, I mean, Pib, honestly, my favorite soda of all time. Recently, I think Coca-Cola ended its distribution contract with Dr. Pepper, specifically in Nevada and in California. So, Mr. Pibb, which is Coke original, right? Mr. Pibb is making a resurgence in those regions, which makes me really happy because I've always really liked Mr. Pibb, and it's not as easy to get Mr. Pibb, you know, especially in restaurants and stuff like that. So, although I've got a question though. Is Mr. Pibb the same as Pibb Extra? I fear maybe not. And if not, are they just gonna like sack the Pibb Extra? Because that's what I really like. it's got like this really cool like water design on the bottle or on the can. That's orange. I don't want that to go away. Also, if you can't tell, I'm dealing with allergies at this current moment. It's not a super happy day for me today, besides the fact that I got new glasses frames. But you know, that's life. Is you do mundane things, and yeah, that's about it. You just do mundane things in life. All right. By the way, oh, okay. How about that? You know, I suspect since this is my save, I've already completed this save. Since this is the save that I already finished, I don't think that they're gonna play the not. It's not an animation. I don't think they're gonna play the cutscene where Jim, you know, jumps off after I get up there this direction. I don't even know if they're gonna trigger the achievement for it either, but I guess we'll have to see. If not, you know, I'll have to do the man breaker all over again on a fresh save, which, you know, I'm not super opposed to, but what I'm really trying to do in this save is get all of the fruits and also get all of the like do all of the quests, all of the fire tower quests. I think that would be good. You know, just like develop a 100% file. Also, if y'all folks are taking a watch right now and have not clicked off after like a couple of seconds, please give the stream a like. That would be very much appreciated. And also, by the way, if you stick around, that would also be very much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I've been working on this for a very long time. In fact, this is one of the... This game has been one of the first streams ever since I got back to this channel not too long ago, like maybe like 2 months ago. And it was like the first one where I sifted a video out of it since my comeback. So, you know, I guess doing this game is somewhat like coming back to the wellspring. And yeah, man, I mean, it's a good wellspring. I really like this game. I'm curious, though, if the market is open for someone to be the GOAT speedrunner of this game, because I think I would like to learn about how to speedrun this game, although I imagine it might be like the skill floor for the technicality of some movements might be a little bit much. I don't know yet, but I have yet to do research on it. Anyways, I hope y'all are having good days so far. This is kind of an unusual time to do a stream. I imagine this is when most folks are at work, especially on a random Monday in November. So I'm not exactly helping. I'm probably shooting myself in the foot by streaming at this specific time, but that's okay. It's not the number, right? It's the passion. It's the drive. It's the consistency and the resolve to move forward and doing what you want to do, which is, to me, today, streaming. So, much appreciated, folks. Also, last time I did a stream, that was with COD Zombies. I didn't record in OBS, so I couldn't make any high-quality videos out of it at the end of the day. This one I've got recording as well, so I'll be making some good high-quality stream highlights out of this. And that will be quite the gift. Okay. Just gotta concentrate here. There we go. Okay. Sweet. Excuse me. Allergies acting up. Okay, let's see if we can make it to the really difficult part. Okay. Okay, cool off, Nate. Do not screw this up for me. Or really, don't screw this up for yourself, right? For either of us. We can do it. Alright. So I've gotten as far as that metal bar out there. I think maybe even a little further to that little screwed in ledge over there. But we'll have to see where this takes us. Okay, come on. There we go. Awesome. See, I'm skilled. First try. First try of the stream. First try of the stream, yeah. As you can see. Oh, shoot. Okay, that's fine. I really like that they didn't make you fall all the way down, because that's way too skilled a movement to have to take that much time to get back up to do. So, we'll get it. We'll get it in a minute. Scoot off. Oh, there we go. All right. I feel good. Who knew that I wouldn't? I feel good. I wonder how many hours I have in this game. So good. So good. Oh, hang on. Okay. All right. So I am pressed all the way up against the mountainside here. I need to get my right foot on this small ledge right here and then left foot up. And then I'm pretty sure this little ramp right here is pretty slick. So I've just got to be careful to take it as slow as I need. Yeah. Let's do it. Okay. Oh, that was close. Whew. That was like excessively close, by the way. You know, I'm convinced that in this game, the longer the more hours you put into it, the better Nate is at like getting leg strength and being balanced. Oh, fuck. Excuse me. That's fine. It's fine. I'll get it. Bad timing for that. I can do it. I can do it. We can do it really quickly this time too, by the way. This is going to take no time hardly at all, really. Ah. Just take it at your own pace, man. Just take it at your own pace. You know, there's only so far you can fall. Only just so far. Man, that's what rage games like this are so good for, is that like there's a certain value to the proprietary experience of any given streamer playing games like this, where it just inherently makes it exciting, even though it's the exact same game that anybody else would be playing at the time of its meta, which I think the meta for this game is over. Probably long gone by now, but I don't know. I kind of like it. There's a certain, I think, threshold of joy that I derive from these games, not because of like how difficult or like how masochistic I can be, but because it feels good to master a skill that a lot of other people would just be too impatient to master, right? It's right within the margin of tolerance for patience for me to be able to, you know, okay, I need to concentrate. This can't keep happening like this. Give me a second. I gotta. Okay. Let's go. Come on. Ah, dadgummit, didn't give me enough time. So, I think the good strategy for this specifically is to do a little scooting with the left leg, like this, and then just do that, right? Because if you start off scooting in the first place, it gives you a lot less time margin to, you know, get where you need to go. All right, let's do this. Okay. All right. Okay, we got this. I'm not nervous. Why would I be nervous? All right. There we go. See? It's not so bad. It's not so difficult at all, really. Okay. How about that? There we go. Lovely. Okay, I might not get the achievement for this or the cutscene. It would be really nice if I got the cutscene for this. But I guess we'll just have to see. Yeah, I get neither. But that's okay. You know, I feel some pride in that I beat that for the first time on stream. So all right. Well, it's time to get cradled and then thrown up on the edge here. Time to drink my Mr. Pibb. Zoe! Come on. Sorry, I'm trying to tell my dog to get on the beanbag. Stay in your room, whoever you'll be, it's alright with me. I'll treasure whoever you are. Alright, so fruits, right? Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot. I'm pretty sure this one up here is a lemon. Oh, excuse me. Goodness gracious, I'm sorry about that. That's the only one in this particular section, I think, is the lemon. It's over there. I think you can see. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I already got that one. Might have been... I keep on mistaking inside of my own mind whether or not this tree has the lemon or the banana, because it's about slipping. You know, on the ice especially. As you can see. Oh, speaking of ice, I've actually been doing some ice skating on my free time. You know, getting on my ice skates. I figured the skill of ice skating is going to be pretty useful for dates and stuff like that, because it kind of relinquishes the touch barrier. and learning to skate backwards, which is what I'm doing also on my skates. It's pretty fun. It's a very I wouldn't say cathartic experience, but I would call it like it's kind of like the same way that I view this game, is that it's like once you get it, you get it. You know? Once you understand how the balance thing works, and you know, the skill barrier of it and all that, it really does make you feel good about your skill. So oh shoot. Yeah, this one I think I already got the lemon, so yeah. Check it. Oh, I'm so good. Oh, I'm so good at this. Yeah, I don't need to continue on that. So, I reckon this stream is just going to be getting back to the cabin. And I don't know if you guys actually know this, but so this entire map in every direction loops in on itself. So once I get to the cabin and then I get over the mountain that's beyond the cabin, then it starts all the way back at the you know, at the starting point where there's, you know, the water and the and you know, Jim is just kind of standing there, and yeah, you guys will see. I'll be able to show you not too long from now. But yeah, man, they really did put a lot of effort into this game. That cloud almost looks like a painting. Oh yeah, by the way, I've got a video brewing right now, the first part of which is about how my second date went with that girl, and I'll just give you guys a sneak peek right now. Yeah, it didn't work out. You know, it's after the date, she's like, yeah, I realized I'm not actually really looking for anything. And, you know, I think regardless of whatever's going on inside of her head, it's like, you know, I don't think we really did have anything too much in common to begin with. I mean, she was a beautiful girl, but that shouldn't be the reason why you over pursue someone, you know? So it was good. It was a good experience. And, you know, she told me that, and I don't know how much her saying this is worth, but she said, you know, it's like, oh, no, you didn't do anything wrong. You know, you're very nice and sweet, and, you know, you did the right thing. And, you know, it makes me feel good to know that. But I've just got to keep on putting myself out there, getting more numbers, you know, being myself, as it were. And yeah, I'll have the opportunity to do that a whole lot more once I become a flight attendant, I reckon. Maybe my wife will be a pilot one day, or one day my wife will be a pilot, or one day I will date a woman who is a pilot, and then we'll get married. Maybe that's the way that it works, right? Maybe. I don't know. Very, very stringent, very strict. What's the word? Industry. Very strict and stringent industry in general. You know, airlines and flying and stuff like that. Oh, thanks, Love Handles. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, no, she was, well, I think partially it was like, I don't know. I'm kind of apprehensive. That's the word I was forgetting all this time. I'm kind of apprehensive about thinking about it too much afterwards. And when I initially finished that date, I had I wanted to have like a fresh set of words right after the date to put into like recording for the video. But I realized a couple of days after, you know, since I am taking a little while to make this video, and I recognize that I'm kind of slacking off a little bit. But I'm realizing a couple days after now that it kind of makes me look like a fucking asshole when I'm like being really fired up about this, right? And I don't want to be that way. And I also don't want to be seen that way either. And that's, you know, it's just anger is a bad look on most folks, and especially me. When I throw it around, when I throw that emotion around flagrantly, because that's not really what I'm like, you know. I think inside of my own head at that time, I was thinking to myself, man, what's going to capture people's attention? And apparently, you know, anger. But I don't want to be seen that way, so it's not going to be that way. Oh yeah, if I remember correctly, Love Handles, you went on a date not too long ago either. Now, didn't you? At least you might have mentioned that briefly to me at some point. Man, I really don't want to go that way. I got to do it the way I've always done it. Whew.
Oh shit!
Well, because the thing that I spoke about, or the things that I said, was somewhere along the lines of like, man, I really wish I could have done all these small little things different, because it definitely was the vibe that I was, I felt like I wasn't doing enough, and also that she wasn't really contributing to the conversation very much. And also, it's like, who the hell takes their date out to do outdoor mini golfing in the middle of October? It was like freezing, you know, at like 5:30 p.m. That wasn't right for me to do. Right, so that's already a ding off. But I mean, regardless of the circumstances, I think the more significant thing about it, which was like, you know, how we view each other as people. I mean, I think we're just two very different people, and you know what? I respect that, and you know, that's what matters. Holding off until after my blood test because anything I eat will show up in my blood. I'm unfamiliar with that struggle. I don't want to assume anything or be discriminatory, but is it like a cholesterol levels thing, or? Hey, just tell her to bring a sweater. She was wearing a sweater. And you know what? She looked rather lovely, you know. She was wearing a sweater, and you know what? I brought extra layers. I brought gloves of my own as well, just in case she needed them. But she never asked. But I probably should have offered those to her as well. Just one of those other little things that I wish I, you know, did better. Tell her to bring a sweater. All sorts of stuff. Because I can't filter my blood. Oh, the kidneys. Yes. The kidneys, right? Wasn't it the kidneys? Kidney failure? Kidney failure, not liver failure. Or was it liver failure? I can't remember. All I remember was that I made that joke about kidney success or something. Probably the only banger joke I've made so far. See? Okay, so look at these mountain peaks, right? Every single one of them is the exact same because it loops sideways. Yeah, kidney failure. Um, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Wait, so are you taking it from the perspective? Are you taking it from the perspective of like, fuck it, I'll eat whatever I want regardless of the health consequences to my kidneys? Or is it like, the doctors will kind of freak out about this even though it's not that big of a problem if I eat this? Because, like, I mean, I could understand either way. uh, yeah, I was visiting the eye doctor today, and I realized to myself how much different it is to visit an eye doctor than it is to visit, like, a dentist, right? Because well, it's just trying to get to the goal, you know, which is getting up to Moose's cabin, which is right at the foot of this mountain here. So, you know, but really it's more of a Sisyphean thing where it's like, oh, just reach the goal for the sake of reaching the goal. But yeah, you'll see what I mean once I get there. But as I was saying, it's a lot different going to the eye doctor than the dentist, because whereas you can get like criticized for taking poor care of your body at the dentist, and it's like kind of impossible to actually impress them no matter how much brushing or flossing you do, it's not that way with the eye doctor, because it's like, what, you're not like brushing your eyes or flossing your eyes every day? I mean, your eyes are just your eyes. They're just trying to help you, right? See better. It's not like any of your health choices are really going to affect your eyesight beyond like a couple of niche things, you know? It's just to get a clear view of it. My treatment is working, and doctors were not to eat certain food close to my blood test. Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. You know, I could say something TMI about a certain medical procedure that my dad did that he wanted me to drive him to and also be there for him during, within like this past week to 2 weeks. But I reckon it would be a little bit crude to mention it. So, but yeah, it really is interesting how much science we have, you know, in the current century as opposed to like, what, 50 years ago? I live near a lot of mountain towns, and a lot of folks that, okay, that's the cabin, by the way, but let me just rest here for a second. A lot of folks in like the 1800, like the mid to late 1800s, they moved to mountain towns and like created little cabins up there, not because of like, you know, like vacation or anything like that, because they definitely couldn't do that in the 1800s. So they needed a more concerted, like more significant thing to go up there because of, you know? And in the 1800s, they still didn't know how tuberculosis worked. So they figured a change in your natural climate, right, would help you get over your tuberculosis, or what they called at the time consumption. So, you know, a lot of the stuff up in these mountain towns is touristy just because it has more to do with health than anything. There are things I would never talk about in polite company about the side effects of my treatment. Oh. Well, I mean, you know, I feel like with any sickness, there's always going to be some embarrassing things about it, right? Because it's not the sexy you laying down in bed and like putting your hand over your forehead like a damsel in distress, right? And then being pale and maybe sweating and coughing and sneezing. It's almost never just that, right? It's almost always the puking and the sharding and the you get hives sometimes too. I remember getting hives as a kid. It was a very odd experience. But I mean, that's just how the human body works. I wonder if we'll ever get around to destigmatizing that. Just because something is like gross as it pertains to society doesn't necessarily mean that it's like something we shouldn't talk about, you know? Or maybe it is. I don't know. I'm open. Alright, let's get moving. So, Moose, which is this horse that made this cabin in the first place, he's, I'm pretty sure he's, like, Nate's, like, lover or something like that. I don't know why that it developed into that, but, I have looped this game back and forth, or rather, I've looped this game all the way up to this cabin maybe, like, 2-ish times now. This will be my third time getting here. And they haven't really made a cutscene yet for having looped over to this yet, so I'm curious whether they made... Yeah, I guess they didn't. Didn't make anything new. But if you go around back here... Yeah, there's Moose. He's right there. Moose, let me in, please. Let me in! The heck? Okay. I wonder if I can see my collectibles from here. I guess not. I hear living in high elevate. I hear. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. I hear, as in hearing with your ear. Living in high elevation makes your body more blood cells because of the lowered oxygen. Yes. Well, I think it's more of like living in higher elevation for longer periods of time. Because if you read about like the Sherpas in like near Mount Everest in what's the country called? Nepal. I think it's more of like a bloodline sort of thing. They just have better like ATP production than normal people. I think is what I'm trying to talk about here. Yeah. Don't worry yourself with vocabulary. You're fine. You're okay. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Yeah, so Nate, he's a loser. He lives in his mother's and father's basement. And he's 35 years old. And he got transported to this wonderful little world where his goal is to hike up all of it and keep on doing it over and over and over again. So that's what I'm doing. I'm curious how many hours I actually have in this game. But it's probably somewhere near like maybe like 50, I think, so far. Yeah. Yeah, no, so most people wouldn't know this, but this mountain is actually extremely scalable. It's just a little bit slippery on some edges, and if you don't know how to work with it, it's like difficult. The one thing about living off the grid in the middle of the woods, you really need to be down to defending yourself. Yeah, man. Yeah, you gotta own a gun. And, you know, that's something that You know, me personally, it'd be kind of awesome to defend myself against a bear. You know, just like conceptually. This game is like an afterlife fever dream. Yeah, for real. You know, I would imagine that most afterlife fever dreams, like the significant things about them would be that you're able to fly, right? I wouldn't be very happy if I had to actually genuinely like stomp around on my feet all day to get anywhere. I wouldn't be happy with that. That'd be torture, really. If you can fly, you know, I think it makes that experience a whole lot better. You know, just seeing this infinitely looping world. But, yeah, you have to be down to defending yourself, which, you know, not too hard. It depends on how many laws you want to break by the standards of the Geneva Convention. Because you can put, like, bear traps out. You know, bear mace. I don't think it's called bear mace. Bear mace. Bear spray, you know? I mean, me personally, it'd be kind of awesome to use a gun, maybe. But, you know, I'm already enough of a gun guy. And it probably isn't legally the first line of defense for you to use a gun against, like, a dangerous creature, like a bear or a mountain lion. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but, yeah. This is one of the things I would do as a ghost, just traveling the world. Well, isn't, like, the concept of, like, most ghosts in fiction is that, like, they specifically exist and are where they are in order to haunt people in the locations in which they're found? Like that one show with, like the scout leader guy that gets shot through the neck with an arrow. Ooh, okay, didn't know that. Sorry, what was it that you didn't know? Oh, are you talking about like the bear mace thing? You know, I'm kind of curious about the Alaska-Canada border. Right, because most of Canada's population, they live like right next to our border on the continental United States. I can haunt people later. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're a ghost, right, and you're actually capable of haunting people, I would think that the best thing to do with an ability like that is to, like, kind of be... It's like the superpower of being invisible. You know, you can listen in on people's conversations, and there's like a marginal level of communication you can have with the real world. So you can literally probably go into the Pentagon, listen in on like classified information, and then espouse that information to whoever you want via like what? Like telephone bleeps or something? About weapons you can or can't use. I reckon... It depends how discriminatory they are. Because, like, when you use a gun, especially to kill an animal instead of injure it, it's kind of more for sport, right? It's for hunting. And when you accidentally, well, I guess incidentally in this case, like, kill an animal, it's going to affect, like... It's going to affect the ecosystem. It's going to affect how many more bears there are going to be next year or whatever it is. And it's going to affect everything that much more, regardless of whether or not you were intending to hunt it. So it's like, you know, if you can stray away from accidentally hunting stuff, you know, quote unquote, that would be preferable. Flicker lights and Morse code. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why ghosts don't exist, is because, like, if they did exist, they would be doing that, like, genuinely. I don't know, man. Always so dramatic. They never look for the practical things in the fantastical. They always just look for the dramatic stuff that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I was watching Tron Ares the other day, and I was remarking to myself how much it was like a Michael Bay film, right? Where it's fantastical in such a way that they kind of do away with essential details relating to the plot, kind of like the way that they did back in like a bunch of 2000s movies, where it's like, wait a minute, how did he get there that fast or whatever, you know? But if you can factor in the fact that you can expect that to be the case, you know, where they're just like detailless, then you can appreciate the movie for what it's supposed to be, which is like a detailless movie. And it's like, you know, really cool. The visuals are cool. The music is cool. And, you know, regardless of how good the acting is, it's really just more about the action.
Oh no.
I think. It was more of an action movie to me than a lore movie, but I would prefer Tron to pivot in the direction of being a really cool lower. Jeremy, speak English. Excuse me. Lore heavy film series that's genuinely like subtly artistic. Oh my gosh. I would prefer it to be subtly artistic. Like a Chris Nolan movie or something like that. You know, or Guillermo del Toro, or that one French guy that did Dune. I would really like that if Tron went in that direction. But of course, you know, it never does. It's always just underwhelming enough for Disney not to make any money off of it and then threaten to like zero the entire IP, which is really unfortunate. Because I really do love Tron. I think that's the first science fiction work ever that I fell in love with as a kid. I think I would have dreams about it sometimes and trying to make my own science fiction lore based off of it. Man, those were the times. All the way back in grade school. Whew. But yeah, where were we? All right, ghosts. Ghosts, baby. Ghost Rider. The Ghost of Christmas Past. You know? Weird how ghosts exist in a world where there's supposed to be angels and demons. Because, like, like, generally, they're supposed to be neutral, right? Ghosts. It's just that they kind of exist. You know, there's no, like, real good or evil to them, other than the fact that it's like, oh, they're kind of, like, stuck in purgatory-ish. It could reach out to more people if it was also autistic. Well, that is the... There's a certain level of... Okay, I shouldn't be commenting on that actually at all. That's a really... I gotta pivot away from that. How was my Halloween? My Halloween was good. My family, we don't really celebrate. Well, I guess celebrate in quotations Halloween, because we don't put out candy on the front doorstep or like hand it out on the front doorstep. Which, by the way, that practice of trick or treating is you know, most people don't do it anymore. But me and my dad and my brother, we went out and we got dinner, and that was pretty good. That was a good time. Just spending time with my family, so it was a good Halloween. You know, have you guys, and this is just like a general question, have you, what type of horror films do you guys like? Because I've found that even folks that don't like horror as a genre, there's always going to be one film that they really like that is at least horror adjacent. I'm more of a fan of Alien, the Alien series with Ridley Scott. And I like John Carpenter's The Thing. Not because of like the form of horror that it's in, but because of like the artistic direction that he takes with it and stuff like that. I don't even really care that much about the plot. It's just like very moody. But there's some horror that I don't like, some psychological horror. I watched Weapons a couple of months ago, and it kind of disappointed me. And this is a spoiler alert for any of you guys out there that haven't seen it yet, and want to see it. But I found that at the end of the film, or at least betwixt the middle of the film and the end of the film, they overly simplified the concept of like the fact that, oh, it actually genuinely is just a witch that abducted children. Just not her. And it just turns into this big supernatural thing that's just kind of camping. It's like, oh, what? A basic witch, dude? You couldn't have at least come up with something a little more original? And so it's just not my flavor of horror. But I can appreciate something for what it is. My town does a huge event the last Saturday of October. The last Saturday of October would have been at least like a week before then, right? That would have been the 25th. Yeah. That would have been the 25th. Is it like Oktoberfest? Is that what it is? Sort of a German thing going on? Oktoberfest. Oh, right. Okay, so I'm remembering where I need to go now. Hang on. It's over here. I was going the complete wrong direction. It should be up this way. Right here. I like realistic horrors. Not to be nitpicky or anything, but what kind of realistic are we talking about? Like serial killers? Like things that can exist in real life? Like ultra super lightning, corruption in the government, nuclear fallout, MK Ultra, like what are we talking about here? Not into supernatural horrors or art house. You're not into supernatural horrors or house stuff. Or art house stuff. Like Blumhouse? Oh, wait, hang on. Let me guess. And I'm not judging you because I like it too. I bet you love Five Nights at Freddy's. I've had Sister Location on my wish list for a long time now. And I'd really love to get around to playing it myself. There's a certain thrill to horror games, though, that I really like. That I've only ever rarely experienced. Like in, what was the Five Nights at Freddy's game that was free? Wasn't it like Pizza Simulator? I really liked that one. That one was really good. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Whew. Pizza Simulator. But now, Five Nights at Freddy's is just such a known franchise that all of the horror's been sucked out of it, and it's just kind of become like kind of a cult fandom piece, which is okay, but it really marks the difference between me as a kid and me during my adulthood. Oh no. Oh. What do you mean, why are you a millennial? Wait, he's 35. Does that mean that he's a millennial? Millennials are born in like the 90s. Like the early 90s, right? So, yeah, he'd be a millennial. It's unfortunate. Dude, imagine being a millennial unironically. That's an unfortunate fate. My doggo is not feeling so good today. There we go. Whew. And you know, love handles. You know, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Because not only are you watching, which, by the way, I'm very appreciative of, because there's always that one folk that is always commenting and stuff like that. But there's like the 2 other viewers that are here, you know, just lurking in the background, of whom I also appreciate very much. But I mean, the reason why it says 4 viewers is because I usually just have it raw pulled up on my second monitor, and so it counts me as a viewer for some reason. But yeah, horror's like getting stuck in a little town, getting tangled in something the government would rather you keep quiet about, and I love movies that are not horrors at first glance. Okay. Yeah, I kind of understand that. Yeah, it's kind of like Daredevil in a way. If you ever get a watch, oh my gosh, if you ever get around to watching Marvel's Daredevil, especially season 1, it really is just like the surprise next level corruption guy, you know, is what Wilson Fisk is. Yeah, I can appreciate that. That's really good. Jurassic Park, horror film ? I mean, it scared me as a kid, but I think Jurassic Park nowadays is more of like a thriller than it is horror. But yeah, I mean, the original it's the thing, it's kind of the same concept as Aliens, if we're being honest, where it's like, you know, we create this thing without considering whether or not it could actually be our downfall in like a major way. I don't know if you know this about alien lore, but the actual original xenomorphs were biological weapons, so to speak, that the engineers, which are the people that also created human beings for some reason, I don't know why that is in the lore. It was very weird development during Prometheus. But the engineers made humans. They saw them being like morally bankrupt, and they're like, okay, we need to kind of destroy humans because they're being morally bankrupt. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create these aliens, and we're gonna launch it onto Earth eventually, and then they'll destroy all the people, and it's gonna be our own little bioweapon. But the issue is that even they couldn't handle their own creation, that being the aliens being like a superior threat to them existentially. So they never got around to actually releasing them on Earth, and they just released them on a bunch of neighboring planets to theirs. And we eventually, the spacefaring human beings, we eventually made our way around to LV-426, which is where one of the engineer ships with one of the alien egg payloads was. And then that's how that whole story starts out. So, yeah. Not too different, where it's like, oh, we discover this thing that exists and then bring it back to life and think we can use it for our own, but then it ends up destroying us. That's what makes Jurassic Park and Aliens very similar to each other.
Where's the quad?
Yeah, like a lot. Yeah. You know, my buddy Dave also really liked Jurassic Park. He back in like elementary school, all he would draw was dinosaurs. Man, I really like that guy. Such a good artist. a swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. When did Jurassic Park come out? 96? I feel like that's correct.
Up we go.
A lot of great 90s stuff. A lot of great 2000s stuff, too. A lot of Frutiger Arrow and, you know, flip phones and shit like that, you know? I mean, we have that problem with AI. We made it and it's pretty out of control now. But the out of controlness comes directly from our own command, right? Everything that AI has made, quote unquote, has come from a prompt that one human being made at one time or another, right? It can't go out on its own and make its own things, which is what people were originally afraid of. But I don't think human beings are have technology advanced enough to even make that happen, right? Where like the rogue AI thing happens. I think we're just gonna end up stagnating technologically, like we've done for like the past, well, for the entirety of the 2010s, I would say. Me personally, in my opinion, I would say that that's the case. But AI is getting better. I'm beginning to observe certain stylistic choices in a lot of common AI videos nowadays that I'm observing in other actual real videos, and that's what's making it difficult for me to tell the difference between them. Like, I saw a Zoran Mamdani thing on Instagram, a little promotional video that he was doing, and it had the same lighting scheme, or I think color correction, as a lot of AI videos do, and I was just looking for the Sora, thumbnail somewhere, but it wasn't there, so I was like, huh, this might genuinely be a problem, but even like 2 years from now. All right, we are back where we were before. Woo. Okay, I've just got to not fall down from here. Whew. This is gonna make me a little bit nervous. It's a little Mr. Pibb here. Okay, this is the incorrect angle. This might be the correct angle on this. Yes. Okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Just gotta continue right here and not make any stupid mistakes. I think. Yeah. We should bring back flip phones. I think our little black screens, that we can like tap on that don't give any haptic feedback, I think they're a setback for our technology. I yearn for the days where we could like get like tactile like buttons and keyboards and stuff like that. And have that represented as advanced technology, like in the same way that Alien does, Is this? Oh, okay, yeah. You gotta take that turn there. Hang on.
Oh no!
Gotta take this little switch back here.
God.
Switch back. Don't stop on the clock. Do you see a certain light? You ever have like a song that you heard when you were a kid that you haven't heard in a long time that causes you to like have memories? I think there's a lot of songs like that for me But they only just trigger specific moments where I was playing Pokemon. Like in the car on like a road trip or something like that. I was playing my DS. But Pokemon Pearl for the Nintendo DS. There you go. I loved my flip phone. Yes. The feel of the buttons I do miss. Yeah. I don't think I ever in my life possessed a flip phone that actually worked. I mean, we got a bunch of them. And you know, they're really cheap to make too, you know. It's just an underinflated market at this point. So if you really need something that just functions. And also, like the market for flip phones, they've made advancements in those technologies too, where it's like not just the buttons, but you can actually use the screen as well, like a smartphone. For some flip phones, and it's much cheaper than than like an iPhone anyways. Really what it is the software functionality that is where all the value is nowadays, because like if you get an Android, it's like what you have to use like Spotify, and there's no Apple Pay or anything, and I have to see your green text on my iPhone. That apparently is disgusting for some people. I don't really know why. Android gets too much hate. Or Android phones get too much hate. Yeah, my inner song bank. Yeah. But it only triggers memories when I only briefly hear them. You know, it's like if I hear the entire song, it's like, oh, I can't believe that this song felt so much more complex when I was a kid. And now I actually now that I understand how it actually sounds, and like my ears aren't muffled by memory, it's like, this song's kind of mid. I still have one. It just needs a new SIM card. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Well, I didn't get all of the fruits, but I think in this particular run, I got a bunch of fire tower stuff done. I got the ice cream thing done. I think I got this first fire tower thing done. There's just some other stuff that I need to find and do, so. But yeah, it's been good. Oh my gosh. Dude, I just got a memory blast. I used to have an analog clock, you know, with the analog ringers on the side of it, and it's like... What was that? It was weird. And it was like all circular, you know? And when you get up in the morning, the alarm's like, and it's like the actual physical buzz. Anyways, no more describing that. It was Thomas the Train Engine analog clock. I used to have one of those. I used to have like that rotating like fish Frutiger Arrow nightlight thing as well, but it was zoo animals instead of the fish. At least I had the zoo animals one. I think my sister had the fish one. Yeah, I mean Nerf guns. I remember Nerf guns. Those were huge for a long time back in the aughts. Those were good. Yeah, man. A lot of great nostalgia from the 2000s. Alright, so as you can see, after having made it all the way to the other side of the mountain here, we're back where the game starts. Woo! All the way back. There's Jim. All the way back. beautiful. Hi, Jim. Anyways, I reckon I ought to finish this up here, but you know, I appreciate y'all for coming. If y'all don't mind, please leave a like on the stream. And you know, just keep it hanging good. You know, Love Handles, as always, my #1 chatter, always and forever. Good. Thank you for being here and hanging out for as long as you have. God willing, I will have a better thumbnail next time than what I've got, because it kind of looks a little bit ridiculous. But yeah, just gonna end the stream off about here. Yeah, how about that? I left a like. Everyone else is slacking. Thank you, Love Handles. I hope your date goes well. Later.